Hey guys, hopefully you had a wonderful weekend here as we move on from sound energy. We talked briefly last week about light energy, and you just kind of learned some important vocabulary incorporated with energy. Today, you'll do a little fun investigation that does not require many materials. In fact, it's just going to be two sheets of white paper and some coloring utensils, whether they're crayons, colored pencils, or markers. And remember, when we do labs, okay, you are investigating. You are the scientist. You're following the lab sheet and doing this independently in hopes that the rest of the classmates are getting the same results as you. We should all be getting the same results. So let's kind of start with um, in front of you investigating and learning a little bit deeper understanding of light energy. So I'm sure you've wondered how we see objects around us. Okay, it's actually simple. This is light. Light comes from many sources. You see the sunlight, the flashlight, campfire, a light bulb, a candlestick, and so on. Well, step one, okay, on how we, the human, see light. Well, first, that light comes from a light source, whether that source is the sun or a flashlight, and it bounces off the object. Step two, the light is bounced off an object and it passes through a part of our eye called the cornea. Cornea. So it hits that cornea part of your eye first. Step three, then the light is bounced off that object and it goes through your cornea and the light bounces off that object. Here's just a diagram of what your cornea is in your eye. So it's repeating, it's bouncing off that object in the cornea, but here's just a better visual of where that cornea is. Step four, the light then that goes through the cornea passes through the pupil. I'm sure we all heard of what a pupil is, and we could probably point to where the pupil is in our eye. So it goes from the cornea to the pupil. The iris is another part of the eye, and that part of the eye regulates how much light is let further or deeper into the eye. So here's just a diagram showing you light hits the cornea, then it goes into the pupil. The light that went through the cornea passes through our pupil, and that iris regulates how much light goes further into the eye. The light then hits the lens, and the lens focuses those light rays on the retina, which is located back here. So as a fifth grader, you don't need to know parts of the eye. I just think as we learn about light energy, and we're going to do a little investigation today, it's always good to have some background knowledge and know a little bit more about the eye. So then the light hits the lens, and here is the retina. When the light reaches the retina, the image of the object appears inverted. The image is on the retina. Inverted means upside down. So that's how we see the image when it hits the retina. So all this background knowledge will help guide you through today's investigation. Okay. Then lastly, the optic nerve, part of your eye, carries the signals of whether the light is dark or it has color, and it brings it to the visual cortex, which is part of our brain. And that part of the brain sends a signal to say, hey, this is what color it is. Hey, this is the object you're seeing. All so interesting how our body works. So you have two very short, I believe they're 1 or 2 minute videos here that you will be clicking to gain some knowledge. So remember, in our scientific method, before we do the fun part of the experiment, you have to build some background knowledge in research. So please take some time to read or watch those videos to get more knowledge. And then out of present mode, you are going to answer what you think the problem is in the lab, gather your materials, and research and form a hypothesis. Once your teacher sees your hypothesis, you will then do the procedure. Have fun.